Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am very excited to share with you my personal top 10 favorite horror icons of all time. Hey guys, welcome back. Like I said, I just want to go over my top 10 favorite horror icons of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed that new little intro that I made. I had a lot of fun making that. As you can see behind me, I have my Halloween decorations up. If you tuned into my, I think it was my last live stream, you would have saw this already, but either way, yeah, I'm just very excited because it is October, which means that this whole month I'm just going to be watching a ton of horror films and just be talking about horror films on pretty much every video. So I hope you guys enjoy this content. I'm going to have a lot of fun making it, and I have some very fun little videos in store. So I'm just going to go over quickly my top 10 favorite horror icons. I did give myself some criteria when I was coming up with this top 10 list. I didn't want to make it a, yes, Ash from The Evil Dead is a horror icon. However, he is the hero and not the villain. So I kind of wanted to keep it as the killers of these horror films. And then also I didn't want to make it just animals or a creature, so Jaws or Bruce from Jaws. I didn't want to add I didn't count the shark as a killer because it's not consciously going after people, if that makes sense. So I kind of kept it as, you know, killers where they are aware of what they are doing. I also kind of kept it out of the realm of The Exorcist. Yes, I do think the demon from The Exorcist is an iconic, horror icon. However, it kind of possesses somebody else, and so I kind of also kept that not part of this list. So I have 10 killers here. That I'm just going to dive into from least favorite to most favorite, I guess, or favorite. So the first one that I have here, this is one that I don't feel like I think about very often, but that is Blade from Puppet Master. And so some of these movies, obviously this is the first, I think, 9 movies. The box set is kind of buried in all of this, and so I didn't want to undo all that to get to the box set. So that's why I just have this really bad Echo Bridge DVD pack of the first 9 films. But yeah, Blade from Puppet Master, I just feel like he is, he's an interesting concept, and it's not just him. He's along with it's Blade and pals of horror icons, and so I feel like he's just not that threatening. He's a puppet, so it's just okay, and there's another one that obviously you might have already put the pieces together down the line that's also similar to Blade, whereas he's just not that threatening to me. I just feel like he's just not that interesting. I mean, he is a killer doll, I guess. But yeah, I just feel like he's, out of all of them, he's probably my least favorite. But next up at number 9, I have Hannibal from Silence of the Lambs. Now, I also should add now, before I just remember, that I also wanted to include icons that have multiple movies attached to them. So it's not just like one or two films. I want them to have several, like a whole series of films, basically. And you could argue with Silence of the Lambs that he was really only in, what, two films? I mean, he has several other films, but as you know, Anthony Hopkins is only really in two of the films, and so that kind of breaks my rule, but I'm going to go with it anyways. So Silence of the Lambs, I feel like like Hannibal Lecter is also, I mean, he's terrifying as a, you know, he feels very grounded. He honestly might be the most grounded killer out of all of these in my list. And a fantastic film. I think it's definitely one of the greater horror, like psychological thriller type of films. And I really do enjoy it. I just feel like, as I go down the list, you know, you'll see kind of like my taste in horror films. And I feel like Silence of the Lambs is definitely one that I can appreciate and I do enjoy, but I just feel like it's just not in the same realm as some of the other ones. And then kind of going along with the killer doll type of movies, I have the next one at number 8 is Child's Play, or Chucky from Child's Play. Again, he's just another one that I feel like, I mean, technically it is kind of a possession from you know, somebody putting their, I guess, spirit into a doll, which then goes around killing people. So he kind of also breaks my other rule, but that's okay. So Chucky from Child's Play, I feel like he is, I mean, fantastic series. I love them. They're cheesy, but they're fun. And yeah, I just feel like he's another one that I feel like, you know, just basically kick him over, throw a box on him. Like, he's very small. He's not very like threatening as a killer. Still a lot of fun. I feel like you're not supposed to take those films too seriously. I feel like you're just kind of supposed to just enjoy them. Especially the remake was not great at all. Some people might like it, but I personally did not. I feel like, you know, he's just a killer Furby at that point, where he's just a robot killing people, and it's just, it doesn't feel nearly as threatening as like a possession type of situation. But ranking in at number 7, I have Ghostface from Scream. Again, I have, this is Scream 4. I do have the other Scream films, but again, they are buried within the spiderwebs and the, you know, pumpkins and everything else back there. So I did not want to try to dive in to find them. So Ghostface from Scream, I feel like he is a very threatening character. I do kind of like the idea of him almost being self-aware of like horror films, and I do think that Wes Craven did a great job of just kind of like creating this like world of kind of like revitalizing the slasher genre. And I don't know, he's a fun character. I still need to see the 2 newest Scream films, which is Scream 5 and 6, I believe. I've only seen Scream 1 through 4, and so my perception of him might change after those films. But as far as the first film, I really think that he was pretty threatening, honestly, for a killer. And the next one is a movie that actually I need to go see in theaters, because the 10th film of the series just was released. And you might have guessed it already, and that would be Jigsaw from Saw. So I feel like this is a series that gets a lot of hate. I feel like it, people either tend to love it or hate it, I feel like, or they really like the first film and then the rest they don't like, or somewhere in between. And I personally do enjoy the Saw films. There are definitely like highs and lows throughout the whole series, but honestly, Jigsaw is a pretty terrifying guy. I feel like him coming up with all these different traps, I guess, are, you know, it's pretty terrifying. So he's definitely somewhere like in the middle for me as far as my ranking goes, but I do enjoy the films. I feel like they're like a lot of like little twists and turns, and so I'm looking forward to seeing the 10th film in the theaters. So moving on to the next one, this is when it kind of got tricky when it came to the ranking of these icons. And I had a really hard time of like how to put these like number, I guess, 3, 4, and 5 in the ranking. But coming in at number 5, I have Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. So I feel like his movies, first off, I wish we would get a nice Blu-ray set with all of his movies in like kind of like what they did with the Scream Factory, what they did with the Friday the 13th series or Halloween. It'd be fantastic to get a complete Nightmare on Elm Street set. But as far as the Freddy as a killer, I feel like he is obviously extremely threatening because he can attack you when you're like most vulnerable, which is when you're asleep. And I feel like his kills are very creative. I feel like the movies were very creative with the way that they handled a lot of just him as a character. And he's definitely, like, some of the movies, again, there are highs and lows within the series, but just great. I mean, he's such a fun idea of somebody who can get you while you're sleeping. And yeah, I really do enjoy him as a character. I feel like he has like a decent motivation as a killer, and so I just feel like, I don't know, as far as the first film, as they go on, they get worse. But coming in at number 4, I had Pinhead from Hellraiser. Sorry if you can't see it because of the glare. So Pinhead from Hellraiser, I feel like I used to not be a huge Hellraiser fan. I kind of put off that whole series for a very long time just because it didn't seem like something I was going to be interested in. And I'm glad that I did watch it because Hellraiser 1 through 3 are very solid films. After that, they get very, very just weird and cheesy. And I mean, he goes to space, he is in the computer, he is... I want to say, I'm trying to remember even, like, because I've only seen Hellraiser 6, 7, and 8, I think one time through each. But yeah, I feel like him as a character, he's very interesting. I like the idea of somebody playing with like a puzzle box, and that just kind of opens up this whole like world. But definitely the first Hellraiser film is fantastic. I really do enjoy it. I feel like it tells a great story, and overall, like, the practical effects just look fantastic throughout the whole movie. So the next one, this is when it got really hard for me because 1 through 3, I feel like these could honestly be kind of like interchangeable and I would be okay with it. But coming in at number 3 is Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So this is a series that I absolutely love. I love the first couple Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. After like the remake and the beginning, when it comes down to Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw or Netflix's horrible attempt at a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, I feel like they kind of lose me there. But the first few are fantastic. I absolutely love them. I really love the idea of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's just, you know, in like broad daylight, the people wander onto the property and pretty much die from that. And so I feel like, especially the shots of them kind of exploring the house for the first time, that whole sequence I think is just fantastic. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a movie that I try to watch at least like maybe once or so a year. I feel like, as you know, it kind of like changed a whole genre of film, and that's in the sense of like, you know, you can make something super low budget and be very effective. I mean, I know that coming up, a pick will do the exact same thing. But yeah, just a fantastic film. Really just gritty, and it feels very like real. I mean, it was shot on 16mm film. I really would love to get the 4K of it someday, but for now I just have the Blu-ray. But coming in at number 2, these two films, honestly, both fantastic movies, at least in my opinion. You might disagree, but coming in at number 2 is Michael Myers from Halloween. Now, people might disagree with me on this one, but I love Michael Myers. Don't get me wrong, but he's just... There's something about my number 1 pick that I will get into in a second, but Michael Myers, which John Carpenter really did just show like what you can do on a very, very small budget, and it'd be extremely effective. Again, with the sequel thing, I feel like Halloween, you know, 1 and 2, and honestly even 3 are like solid films that are really enjoyable. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, all of those, like as they go on, I feel like they just... they get worse as they go. Rob Zombie's attempt at a Halloween film I thought was interesting on the take of the character. Definitely not better than the original by any means, but I did still enjoy Rob Zombie's take. I just feel like he kind of just beat you over the head on, you know, why Michael is the way he is, and I think that's what makes the first film so effective. It's just that you don't know why he did what he did, and I think that's what makes him scary as a character. But yeah, I would definitely say Michael Myers is an extremely threatening character. I mean, he is the boogeyman, and so he just kind of keeps coming back. And so, yeah, overall, I really love Halloween. I love like the atmosphere, and just, you know, obviously it's set during Halloween, and so I love everything about it. But coming in at number 1, which you might have already guessed it by now, and I realized I grabbed the wrong Blu-ray. I should have grabbed another one, but that would be Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. And so Jason Voorhees doesn't technically appear really in the first film. I should have grabbed at least the second or third Blu-ray, but either way, Friday the 13th, I'm counting it as Jason, not his mother. I absolutely love the Friday the 13th series. Some people definitely will probably disagree with me on that, but I love all of the films. I feel like they are all so fun. They all are very creative, and they bring back Jason in so many different random, weird ways that I think he's a lot of fun. Obviously, as they go on, they get, you know, cheesier and cheesier, which, again, Jason goes to space. Jason goes to... you know, I'm trying to think what else. He goes to hell, quote unquote. And then even the remake is a lot of fun too, in my opinion. I need to revisit the remake, and along with that, with Jason versus Freddy, I think is a fantastic film. I absolutely love Jason versus Freddy, or Freddy versus Jason. I'm sorry. But yeah, that is my pick for my top 10. A few honorable mentions that I decided to leave out for this video would have been like Leprechaun from the Leprechaun series. He'd probably rank in at like number 11 for me, and I wanted to keep it under at 10, but a few other ones would have been like Pennywise, or the kid from The Omen, or Damien, I guess that's his name. Or I'm trying to think of other horror icons, but I might be missing, obviously I'm missing some in my, when I'm talking now, but let me know what you guys think of my top 10 horror icons in the comments. Did I leave any of your favorites out? Do you disagree with my order? Do you agree? Let me know all of your thoughts. And I appreciate all of you guys taking the time to watch this video. I'm looking forward to making some more fun content this month. But as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.